This is
Helmets,
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
What a lively joint that was earlier today. I thought overall the Jags came out much peppier than they have maybe some other practices and or the joint practice last week with the Panthers. And it felt to me like the Jags offense had a really good day outside of the very end of the 2-minute. Just hoping Brian Thomas Jr. is perfectly fine. We saw him catch a touchdown pass, land kind of awkwardly on his left shoulder. He did participate in one more play, but then sat out the rest of practice. So then you're down, obviously, Jacoby Myers and Brian Thomas Jr. at that point in time. But Tom, you watched the Jags defense. What do you think?
Yeah, no, they took care of it today. They were great today. Even Baker Mayfield said after they were playing with their hair on fire, if it was a game we wouldn't have won or something like that, or doesn't think we would have. But they did up front. They dominated from the one-on-ones to team. I will say when Wirfs was in there, nobody dominated Wirf. I'll tell you that. And he wasn't in there all the time.
No.
Their backup was in there a lot, getting a lot of work. But Josh Hines-Allen was in the backfield all day long. They couldn't block him on either side. I didn't care. Now, again, when Wirfs is there, that's a different story. That'd be a good one-on-one. It'd be a great battle, all game long to watch those two go at it. Tristan Wirfs is a special left tackle. There's no doubt. He's one of the better ones in the game. But overall, no, I thought, look, we at least on the defensive side, we handled them. They had a couple plays. That Ted Hurst Jr., number 17, he's a player, man. That guy runs smooth, and he's fast, and he's got great hands. He gave Travis Hunter all he could handle, but it's okay. I think people are like, and maybe I'm partly to blame, because you're like, oh, lockdown corner. Well, he may get beat from time to time. You can't sit there and be like, oh, I got wait, how did he get beat? Because he's gonna get beat. Most corners do get beat every so often. So
he also doesn't have that much experience playing corner at the NFL level.
Correct. And he's right there for the record. It's not like the guy's toasted him and he's wide open. He's right there, but that kid, that Ted Hurst Jr., he's definitely going to be a player. But other than that, we shut down their run. We were in. Baker would have gotten sacked a ton of times. I like him though, man. He's not the biggest guy, but man, he whips that ball. I stood by. He did an out route to Godwin, right near me. It was pretty. It was coming in pretty hot, But nonetheless, look, it was a great day.
He's got a live arm.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, he can really zing it. But great day. One thing I did notice, because I did walk towards the back, the back end zone where you could see both. And when Vita Vea doesn't want to get blocked or doesn't feel like being blocked, he doesn't get blocked.
Just decides he's not.
Yeah, he's like,
you're
bring
not.
two. I don't care. You're not blocking. He's an unbelievable monster.
That's worth $30 million for the season.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. And on the Bucs side, you didn't get to see Emeka Egbuka. Obviously, he's dealing with an injury, and Jalen McMillan. Both of them are hurt right now, so we didn't get to see that. At first, I'm like, man, we're seeing a lot of that Ted Hurst. It was every time I looked over to that side of the field, he was somebody that was making a play, and I was like, but then you realize some of those guys are banged up, and Chris Godwin I saw resting a little bit at times too, so you have some of those other guys out there. But I do think when it came to the energy in general, we were just talking about it before the show, it definitely felt like the Jags came out and throughout practice had more energy than what we were seeing, especially the Bucs offensively. There were some moments defensively for the Bucs where there was a lot of feistiness happening on that side of the field and some shoving. Jealous. We saw a few different things. But when it comes to, I think both sides, when it felt like every time you were showing somewhere, the Jags were around the ball, whether it was the defense, when it came to stopping the run, you were seeing that, and you've seen that throughout camp. I think that's probably one of the least worries when it comes to the Jaguars, because that's, that was the strength last year, and it got better throughout the season, and you would expect that part to continue. You just want to see some of those in between downs, some of those explosive things. Those are the things that you wanted to see improve this year. And I do think that's something you have seen glimpses of, and especially going against a team like the Bucs. It's a good team. They have a lot of names on there that you list. You're talking about a Vita Vea, and you're talking about a Tristan Wirfs. Those are two of the better guys at their positions in the NFL. And Baker Mayfield has a lot of experience.
Winfield in the back.
Winfield
They had a ton of guys.
Ruben Bain.
Ruben. Which is new, but
but they got plenty of
He'll make his presence known, I think, fairly early on. For me, a couple of the plays that stood out, that Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown was electrifying.
Oh yeah.
The problem was obviously, like I said, it looked like maybe he hurt his shoulder just a little bit, and that's unfortunate to see, because 2 years ago, Brian Thomas Jr. was making the fans go crazy when he was playing against the Bucs. And then a little bit of a skirmish at one point in time. Saw a few of those. But my favorite play of I guess it wasn't a play. It was after extracurricular activity was when Walker Little was getting into it with one of the Bucs defenders, and then Alex Anzalone kind of came over after, and Trevor just literally like spun him around and pushed him out of the way. Yep. Liam called it a hair on hair type.
They both have long blonde hair.
Wrestling.
Type of thing. But I like seeing that from the quarterback, right? Like no one was getting injured by any means. But there was another time where one of the Bucs defenders, I told y'all his last name and now it's escaping me, but number 90, he like Cartman, something like that. Either way. He took his helmet off and was like trying to get into a fight. And so the Bucs coaching staff took him off the field after that.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone threw a punch on the Bucs side. I saw at one point. Yeah.
I was jealous. I kept seeing all these skirmishes over there. I'm like, come on, defense. Do something.
Come over here.
Hit someone late.
You had to
do something.
Yeah, you had to come over to the offense. That's where it was last week, too, against the Saints.
Yeah.
It was mainly more on the offensive side. DeMonte Capehart. That's
right. The young kid from Clemson.
The rookie out of there. Yeah, he was definitely jawing with some of the Jags offensive linemen. Yeah. And Gary Smits was sitting next to me during the beginning of that team portion. He's like, how many plays before we see a fight? And I was like, 3. Over under 3. He's like, well, you would have won last week. And then it was basically like the third play. And they started to have to be separated.
I'm telling you, look, I don't know if it's just this year, but Walker Little seems to be in the middle of all those things. He goes to defend his teammates. He's right in there going after it. So I don't know, maybe something's changed.
Yeah, exactly. And then takeaways today was fun to see. Buster Brown, the takeaways.
Yeah.
Buster Brown
finally got some, which Liam's been talking about.
Yeah. Baker threw the ball right to Antonio Johnson.
He did.
Yeah, on the very
Antonio
end.
had a great end. 2 minute. He was all over the place. Yeah, overall it was good. I mean, I think, the
Foye
defense
almost had an interception too.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Was Antonio's the one that got called back though?
Yeah,
there was
PI.
a PI. Yeah.
I still count it as a pick six.
Yeah. Overall, a very good
have.
day. Liam should be very happy. Campanile should be fairly happy with the way the defense played.
Liam was happy, other than the 2 minute at the end.
Yeah. He was not.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I mean, those.
They
are
got penalties
drills.
getting backed up, and that's not what you want to happen in those moments.
Yeah. I wonder what tomorrow's gonna bring. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're Tampa, you want another shot at it, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not going to play their starters in the game, well, tomorrow's really the shot. So I don't know. If I'm Baker, I'm like, man, let's go full pads again.
Absolutely.
I want to see it. And if I'm the Jags, we're like, yeah, all right, little man, let's go. We're gonna
little man.
see what you got, buddy. They
just had Bryce Young last week.
He's bigger than Bryce. There's no doubt. But hey, Baker's a great quarterback. There's no question. But they're good. Listen, they're a good team, and we showed up today. And I thought that was the biggest thing. Like, you didn't walk away like, oh, they got the upper hand. It felt like we had the upper hand for the majority of the day. I know offense, I heard the cheers with the touchdowns and the skirmishes. So I heard that.
Yeah.
And, I figured out while I was watching, like, that may be the way to go. Now, you can't see the intricacies, but you watch defense, and then when you hear a cheer, you're like, oh,
something good happened.
Oh, Bryant caught it. Oh, Parker caught a touch. Okay, so you almost feel like you see we're on defense. You don't, I'm the only one clapping over there when they have a good play. I'm like, that was a good play. Good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not the same electricity.
Last week, I will say, in the joint practice against the Saints, the fans were cheering when good things were happening.
Yep.
Or sorry, thank you. The Panthers, The first week was the Saints in New Orleans. We weren't there for that.
Right.
Yeah, against the Panthers, the fans were cheering when the Jags did good stuff on defense.
Yep.
But I think today it seemed like the offense and defense were, the Jags defense, but the Bucs offense, both offenses were snapping it at almost exactly the same time.
Close.
So you had to choose where you were looking.
And so that's why I think the fans then tended to lock in more to the offense. But
because the Panthers last week, it felt like you and I, Lauren, were standing like in the middle, and we could truly watch the offensive play. As soon as that was done, we look over, and then the ball was getting snapped, or maybe in the air, so you were at least seeing the tail end if it was getting caught or knocked away or broke up, whatever. Today, I was like, okay, well, I've got to decide which field you're watching, which is fun and it's exciting, and you hear the cheers and you look and you're trying to figure out what's happening on each side of the field. But that's what today it was, just this little extra energy it felt from the Jags side, not as much as the Bucs side, at least to me personally. And just hearing some of the Bucs people around us talking, it felt similar to them, because I was hearing little comments of like, they seem slower today, they seem this. And so to your point, Tommy, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like tomorrow if they come out with the full pads.
If they do that, you'd imagine they'd probably have an uptick in energy. Yeah. They did seem flat. I mean, look, I haven't seen them at all. Like, all I know is watching today. Our guys were fired up and making, things happen, and they on occasion were. Other than that, there was no excitement. There's no
There's no juice, yeah.
No juice, enough juice for him. But we'll see what happens tomorrow.
I feel like we have the left tackle and left guard solidified. And then center day was the interesting part. So Anton Harrison and then Emmanuel Pregnon, E-Man. Center, they actually did rotate Robert Hainsey with Jonah Monheim with the ones, which I found fascinating because they haven't done that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they were just being experimental and just trying stuff out, or if they were trying to see, is Jonah Monheim a little bit more powerful against some of these guys like Avita Vea?
Some of the front guys,
I think that's it. Can he handle it mentally, and does he give us a little more power at center? And if he does, without losing anything, from a technical standpoint, if you will, like making sure the calls are good and the line's good and all that, you may make a run. You may say, listen, we need a little bit more. I mean, look, the stink is in the Bermuda Triangle, right? The two guards, the center, and the back. You know what I mean? So, the center's part of it. I'm not saying it's him. I'm not saying he's stinking. I'm not saying that, but if you need to upgrade that power, Monheim's right there, he just looks more powerful. I think Hainsey is, forget the smarts because he's got that, but he is gritty. He'll get after it. He is athletic. I don't think his lower half seems that strong, and bull rushes are hard. Now, listen, a lot of centers, it's not easy to handle a bull rush.
Get up,
and then handle a full-on bull rush from a 330-pound guy, right? But eventually you got to set the anchor, right, and stop it. At least pause it for it. I just don't feel I think that's the weakness of him. So maybe they want more power. I can't say I've seen enough of Monheim. How does he handle that?
Yeah.
I can't see. I haven't seen it. I will.
I think I did see one bad snap at one point in time. From Monheim to Trevor today.
Oh, the snap itself, which is important.
Snap. Correct.
I will say this. That's why I made the comment about Vita Vea. So I was looking over there, and something happened with Vita and Monheim because Vita kind of gave him a little extra shove at the end of a play. And then it looked like the replacement was coming in. Vita waved the replacement off like, no,
I'm ready.
I want another thing at this. So he lined up in the gap. It was Ezra and Monheim. Monheim crashed into him, and it was like nothing. I mean, it was just unbelievable how big Vita Vea is. It's just like, just working through the double team.
No problem.
Trevor had to get out of dodge.
Yeah.
He was pretty ticked off. Something happened to play before that got him the old veteran. The old vets are like, no,
Wiley guy.
I'm going again.
Those are the moments you wish you were a little closer so you could hear a few of the little scuffles we saw today, because the one you were talking about, Lauren, where Anzalone gets around and Trevor kind of tosses him. One of their defensive players was angry at something because he kind of came around the right side and everyone's holding him back, and he is shoving his team away to get to somebody.
Yeah, because I noticed, I don't remember what the number of the Bucs defender, but I saw that he and Milam kind of landed on him.
Okay.
And so I don't know if he felt like Wyatt needed to get up faster, or if he didn't like the way that he landed on him. And so that's where I saw he was
going after.
Yeah, as soon as he got up, he went to after Wyatt Milam, and that's when everybody kind of started to do stuff. But when I saw Trevor kind of not fling Anzalone, but kind of wrap him up and move him, I was like, this might actually turn into something crazy here on the practice fields, but it did not. All right, more Jaguars to get into. I want to talk about the run game that we saw today and a whole lot more. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL on 2.5 FM.
Saddle up with the Frangie Show. Afternoons on 1010XL.
It's back to school season. Get a brand new fence from Superior Fence and Rail. For a limited time, get free takedown and haul away of your old fence. A $500 value with your new fence purchase. Offer valid on residential projects of 100 plus linear feet. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com. SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, life can get a little hectic at times, and no one's got time to get hurt and losing money. get hurt, you're hindering your success. That's not a good thing. If you're in this position due to the negligence of another, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan. Tom McManus here. Injuries suck. I know it. That's why you call the largest personal injury law firm in the land. They got enough firepower to handle it all. Any personal injury case you may be dealing with, $30 billion worth of firepower is what they have. They make filing a claim easy, and they don't get paid unless you do. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com or hit pound law from your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday. Protected by Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, I'm Matt Lennon with AB Signs. If you own a business but your vehicle, your storefront, or job sites aren't promoting that name, who's getting your next customer? At AB Signs, we'll help your business stand out with custom vehicle graphics, signs, banners, and decals. Whether you're starting new or upgrading your image, we'll make sure your business gets noticed. Before you order from an online merchant, call local. Call Matt at AB Signs, and let's put your business to work.
Make your outdoor living space one you're proud of with Sutherland Lawn and Landscape. From landscape design and outdoor living spaces to turf, lighting, irrigation, pavers, and complete residential and commercial maintenance, Sutherland brings your vision to life with quality craftsmanship and a team you can trust. Sutherland Lawn and Landscape, transforming outdoor spaces, elevating everyday living. Visit SUTHERLIN lawn.com today.
After coming this close to a national championship, the Canes are back to finish the job.
I'm JJ LaSalva, bringing you a forecast of Miami football in the Hurricane Report.
Proudly protected by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve on 1010XL.
Did you know if you buy a $6,000 natural diamond pendant at Beard's Diamonds, they'll give you all that money back when you decide to upgrade in the future to a larger diamond?
If you walk out with a natural diamond, a natural tennis bracelet, a natural pair of diamond studs, whether it be 5 minutes, 5 years, 10 years down the road, we will give you exactly what you paid for those items.
That's Ben Lupo, with his father John explaining that as long as you upgrade to a larger size, Beard's will pay you exactly what you paid them for the original diamond.
You get exactly what you paid, and you just pay the difference. An example is you bought a $1,000 pair of earrings and you're looking for something a little bit bigger. The new earrings are $2,000. You pay $1,000 difference.
And you can do it as many times as you like. So with a guarantee like this, anyone can start out small and over the years keep trading up from 1 carat to 3 or 4 or 5 carats.
As the budget grows, we're always going to be there for them.
A 100% natural diamond upgrade guarantee. Just another thing that separates Beard's Diamonds from everyone else. Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center. Jacksonville's local dealer for 45 years.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. Something big is coming September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration for sports fans. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states, including right here in Florida. One app, every sport. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era. Remember the date, September 2nd. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code 1010XL. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim, issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms DKNG.co/predictions promo, nationwide based on sportsbook predictions, and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Thank you to everyone on the text line, Design My Lifetime Enclosures, for letting us know that the unfortunate news that Dolly Parton passed away earlier today at the age of 80. Her nephew let us all know that. And I'm honestly going to try and not get choked up in talking about Dolly Parton and everything that she meant to country music. She was born in a cabin in Tennessee. She was one of 12 kids. And she worked her freaking butt off her whole life. And she was super supportive of everyone else in country music. And just what a beautiful soul. And so I'm really sad right now.
Yeah, it is devastating. Like you said, 80 years old, and you feel like you see that number, and then you're like, but that's still, you're 80, and and there's so many people. And we talk about now with like an Ella Langley, for example, getting people to like country music that wouldn't like country music. That's Dolly for so many people. Like I have so many friends that grew up in my like hardcore music scene, and Dolly's the one like country artist they would listen to, and that's what she kind of was in that world of music. And Dollywood, is that what it's her theme park? Because my stepsister, she does a different trip every year, and that was one she was talking about like 5 or 6 years ago that she was like, I really want to go to Dollywood. But so it's just there's so many different things that people have stories of her in relations to her and her music, and just growing up especially. I mean, it's Dolly Parton. And so
she's iconic. God bless her. She gave a lot to the world, especially in country music. And one of the greatest songwriters. Whitney Houston's I'll Always Love You was written by Dolly Parton.
And recorded by her first, too.
Right. Yeah.
And then obviously also an actress, too, with 9 to 5.
Absolutely. She was great in 9 to 5. I remember that movie. That was a great movie.
If you haven't seen 9 to 5, go watch it. It is amazing.
Totally.
It's, I'm guessing 80s, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Probably like early 80s. I've seen it many a time, just not recently. But
Steel Magnolias, she was in that
love
too.
Steel Magnolias.
She was, yeah.
That's one of those movies that I've seen way too many times.
I love that movie.
And I can say quote almost everything that the actors
I've seen that one live.
movie.
Like I've seen a live play.
Me too.
Of Steel Magnolias. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I love at the end of Steel Magnolias where Sally feels crushed. She's like, I just want to hit somebody.
Yeah.
Like, hit her! Soccer one good.
One of
Always
my
makes
favorite
you
lines
laugh.
in that movie, Weezer, I think is saying it to Dolly Parton. Weezer, the characters, that's her name.
Oh, yeah, right.
But she's
Weezer.
it's at the
Weezer.
wedding. And there's a woman with a light blue dress on, and they zoom into the
Pigs.
butt.
Yeah.
And she goes, "It's like 2 pigs fatting under a blanket." And I've never forgotten that. But yeah, if you just missed it, Dolly Parton. What a wonderful life she got to live at the age, passed away earlier today, at the age of 80. And I know the people are just texting in now, so many like, no, not Dolly. And I get it. It feels like for all of us, like she's always been an icon,
Like
right?
America's sweetheart almost.
Yeah.
The queen of country music.
Yeah,
And look, there are others too, like a Loretta Lynn, who also came, a coal miner's daughter, and worked her way up. But Dolly, because she maintained her relevance for so many years, like she's never been away from the public spotlight. And so I was reading, her husband passed away. It was just last year that she has been apart from him. And then she's been dealing with kidney stones. She had to cancel a show in Vegas earlier this year, in March of this year. And so I know last week she was just telling her fans how tired she is. And so I think she was trying to prepare people that she'd be going to be with Jesus here soon.
Boy.
But yeah, we'll keep playing some Dolly Parton music to honor her today for sure. All right, back to the Jaguars. I said I want to get into the run game. We did see a fumble today by Bashal Tutin. The Bucs certainly forced that out. I think that was Antoine Winfield who forced it out, I think.
Great player.
Yep. But obviously securing the ball is important. But overall, I thought the Jags run game between Tutin, obviously Chris Rodriguez, LaQuint Allen still off to the side. I liked what I saw out of both of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was on the other field, but seeing them break free and that kind of thing. Again, look, it's not full, so you're not all the way there as far as.
Yeah, it's some more touch.
Yeah, it's more touch or banging. There was some good. Yeah, there was some good thuds up there, but they're not stopping you from momentum. So, but at the end of the day, it's all about that timing and getting up in that hole.
Yeah.
Look, one thing that Liam has said about Toon, he's like, I want him to be more decisive. I want him to be like a kickoff return, like go. There's the hole, and maybe he's seeing that a little bit more, which is making him more excited because it is all about that timing. You know, that guard gets that outside arm on the outside arm of the defensive tackle. There's the path. Get right on my butt, buddy. Get right there, and you got a chance to run over the safety, make a move on the safety, whatnot. But you got to be right there in the timing. It seems like maybe he's hitting it a little bit harder, and all it is decisiveness, right? It's not dancing. Don't dance. Hit put that foot in the ground and bing, go hit to that hole where you're supposed to be.
That's sometimes the most frustrating thing to watch is you're like, run up, like go up. Why are you just dancing from side to side? Right. And sometimes they end up getting yardage out of that. Some backs are better at that than others. But I do think when it comes to the Jaguars, there's a reason when that we've heard them say of why they brought a guy like Chris Rodriguez in. And to me, that's more of the hard yards, not the other ones. Etienne could do the perimeter stuff and find some green and get space, maybe not between the tackles all the time. But the Jaguars need that guy that when you need 3 yards and a 3rd and 3, that you can get those hard yards. And that's what's hard to see right now. So that's what the unpredictable part to me is. I think they can, because of especially the way that Liam Coen schemes his run game, I think the other stuff can happen. It's what you need to see when you really need that first down or you need that goal line yardage. You don't have to use Trevor every time. Like, those are some of the things that I really want to see. And unfortunately, we can't see that until you are out on and people are making tackles and you're seeing that real life hitting. But outside of that, I think you've seen a good time. I mean, a lot of good things from both those backs and Amir Abdullah. We talked a ton about him too, of what he's been able to do and how he's kind of fighting for a roster spot right now. And the Jags have a decision to make with him, honestly, because if you don't keep him and you send him to the practice squad, I'm not sure I think somebody's grabbing him. So that's a decision that they'll have to make for sure.
I think there's a handful of guys that you feel
In
that
that
way.
category?
If you put them on that, the practice squad, they're, like Brian Thomas Jr., the defensive end. I don't think
Trevor Pena too.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean,
needs
someone's gonna be like, "Hey, that kid made some plays during the preseason," Which it's funny because they always say you're playing for everybody else. I never felt like it's that prevalent. Normally, when you don't make a team, you don't go anywhere else, and then maybe you spend another off season with another team trying to make that team, and then make that team. It's just hard. Now, if you're a veteran that's been in the league, then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you don't want him, I want him. He's got a lot of football in him," that type of thing. So.
Yeah, I feel like Trevor Pena, Joey Aguilar, maybe a little bit too, and then Brian Thomas Jr., the defensive end, are all guys that you'd like to be able to keep on the practice squad. But teams that are watching the preseason, and obviously the scouting personnel departments those are guys that have stood out in both of the preseason games thus far to this point. Yeah, I feel like Bashal Tutin is like so close to being one of the most explosive backs that we've seen here in a while. He has the vision. His feet are great. It's just like you said, Tom. Can he
trust it?
Right. Can he trust it? And can the offensive line provide some holes? Whereas last year the holes were not in the interior. That's why Etienne had to get outside.
Remember the movie Days of Thunder when you got to go through the smoke? You just got to go.
Yeah.
That's a lot like a back.
Yeah.
Like you might not see the hole, but the hole.
Just trust it.
Trust that the hole is just a sliver. That might all you be, that may all be that you get is a sliver of daylight, but trust it and then do your thing. What did Liam say? Do what got you here.
Yep.
Like quit thinking so much. Just boom, let's go. And I will tell you, like again, it's just thud. But recently, even in practice, and I know I saw it today, Tutin has had a lot of long runs. It seems, and not just getting tackled, then keep going. Like he's making guys miss, and then beating them to the corner, that kind of stuff.
You don't even have to look and see what number has who the ball carrier is. Like you can tell automatically when it's Tutin. Just the way his speed and his agility, and you can tell when C-Rod has the ball too. Honestly, the other ones sometimes I have to look and be like, is that DJ Dallas? Is that Abdullah? Like at times, but for the most part with those two, they're so different. Like stylistically, they're so different that like C-Rod is just a freaking bowling ball.
And when you talk about that smoke, as soon as he makes his way through that smoke, it's just like
boom.
a pig.
Smell you later.
Leaves a trail of smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why, it would have been fun to see him in some preseason games with that full tackling, but I don't think we're going to see it.
I think for me, in addition to what you said about C-Rod with short yardage and goal line too, like 4 minute. Like if he can wear down a defense in that 4 minutes.
That's what you needed with Buffalo.
That's what you needed. Exactly.
And his head coach, Liam Coen, complimented how his attitude and his work ethic has been, Chris Rodriguez's. And obviously Chris has the advantage of knowing Liam from prior years.
It helps.
Or a year at Kentucky. It does help.
Yep.
But still, every single player gets to decide the attitude that they bring on that practice field each day. And you'd think like everyone would, other than maybe like an Eric Armstead, a Josh Hines out, the guys that 100% know that they're starting.
Yeah.
But the other ones, I feel like they need to bring that energy each day.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember running back for Florida State, Dexter McNabb. It was a mini camp, I think, and they conditioned the crap out of us. And I was sitting in my locker, and he sat down next to me, and he's like, "You chose to come here?" Because it was so hard. Right. I was like, "This is nothing compared to Boston College." He's like, "Get out of here." I'm like, "I'm just saying, man. It's like, but you just know what to expect." So it does. Gives the coach comfort. It gives you comfort. Like, you know exactly what that guy wants out of me. You know what I mean? And C-Rod knows what he's got to be the bruiser.
Yeah.
He's got to be the one that just, imposes the will with our old line, get rid of the stink. You can't stop us. We're just going to pound on you until you give up.
Yeah. So week 1, my guess is the offensive line is what we saw today, and that is that Cole Van Lanen won't yet be in the starting line. Maybe he will be. All he has to do is practice the week before the Browns, is what Liam said. But if he's not quite ready, then I would expect it Hainsey still to be the center, and then right guard Ezra Cleveland, right tackle Walker Little. If Cole is healthy, then I believe he'll be the right tackle, and then Walker Little will be the swing tackle. I don't think they'd put Walker Little at right guard over Ezra, but I suppose that's certainly something up to them.
That'll be a tough one. I think, Ezra's really come on for them. They're happy with Ezra again, and he was one of their better guys last year. It'll be interesting. I mean, look, Walker's earned at least, chance to play a lot, this year, and forget. I mean, look, it's always, what have you done for me lately? It's always a reset button. So whatever he's done in the past, whatever. Maybe he's turned a new leaf. Maybe he does have that fire they've been waiting for him to have. It seems like he does, but I wouldn't take Ezra out. I wouldn't. Cole was my right guard. I mean, right tackle. Ezra's my guard until I have to make a change, which at this point I wouldn't think we need to. You know, but I don't know if Cole's going to be ready week 1. That's a big ask.
It is, right?
That's a big ask.
I think so too. But like I said, I was at the walkthrough yesterday, and he wasn't even doing the walkthrough with the team. So that's what led me to believe. But again, there's still a few weeks left.
And think about it. If you're not going to go this week, which he's not.
Correct.
When are you going to feel comfortable enough to go into a game if you haven't? It's been done before. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you have to be in a game, but are you going to be ready? Is your knee going to be ready? Is your mind going to be ready to go week 1 if you haven't had the experiences of dealing with it, in that kind of situation?
Absolutely, because then it's mental too. It's not just physical.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because we've already seen all of, the movement that they've done on the offensive line this offseason. Some because of injuries, some just because that's what they like to do, move things around. But you've seen some pre-snap penalties, and you've seen some of those stuff when it's really shaken up. So I do think that Liam Coen lives in this world where he wants them like 120% prepared before he wants them out there. And I think that's fine. I think that when Cole, it really feels like Cole's ready to go, do you throw him right back? But if the line's good, what if you're 4 or 5 weeks in and the line's playing really well? I was just going to say, what if Walker's playing really well at right tackle? I mean, you switch it with Cole. You don't want to mix it just to mix it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It'd be interesting. Good problem to have. I know.
But Cole can also play guard. So maybe you evaluate Emmanuel Pregnon, you evaluate Ezra Cleveland at that point in time, and you decide, is Cole maybe going to be better than one of them at one of those spots? And that's the good part about versatility. Yep. I feel like Emmanuel Pregnon is going to be so good in the run game that he's going to be your left guard. Yeah. That's what I think. I think they want him to be the left guard. I think he's going to be the left guard. So, that really leaves center maybe, and then right guard up for grabs. All right, Tom's takeaways on the other side. And yes, we did see the unfortunate news that Dolly Parton passed away today earlier at the age of 80. So you will hear some Dolly Parton music for you all this afternoon. You're listening to Helmets and Heels 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday
is served by
Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, Tom McManus here for John's Pest Solutions. I've been friends with John for many years, and I know he takes pests as seriously as I take football. With all the rain we're getting, you've probably noticed an uptick in ants, roaches, and mosquitoes. Don't stress. John's Pest Solutions will tackle all your pest issues the way I used to tackle running backs. John's Pest Solutions will treat your lawn and around your house so you can relax and enjoy football season. Visit johnspestsolutions.com today. That's johnspestsolutions.com.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance painting.
Hey gang, Hicken here. You know I've been using Zero Res for years now. Heck, I used a couple other guys way back when, even tried to do-it-yourself cleaning. Learned real quick that ain't for us. With Zero Res, the zero residue carpet cleaner leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. And they're affordable. This month, get 3 rooms starting at $119 plus a free hallway for the remainder of the month. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res.
It's Mike Dempsey. If you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. We count football in weeks. Week 1, the bye, midseason. 10 weeks doesn't sound like much until you ask what can change in 10 weeks. That's the idea behind Reclaim by Awaken 180, a defined 10-week program with a clear beginning and a real finish line. I know what that window means. I lost 40 pounds in 10 weeks with Awaken 180, but the scale wasn't the only number that mattered. My body fat percentage came down without a meaningful drop in muscle mass because losing weight should mean losing fat, not simply chasing a smaller number. Think about this. The Jaguar season is almost here. When it reaches midseason, you can still be thinking about changing, or you can have 10 weeks behind you. That's why now makes sense. The season will move fast, and my results did too. Go to awaken180weightloss.com and ask about Reclaim. Find out how 10 weeks work, what the program involves, and whether it fits your goal. Go to awaken180weightloss.com and ask about Reclaim. Week 1 is coming either way. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Problems, pick Porter.
When you need a lawyer,
Pick Smart.
PickPorter.com.
DUI, pick Porter. Divorce, pick Porter. Criminal or injury law, pick Smart.
PickPorter.com.
Problems, pick Porter.
When you need a lawyer,
Pick Smart.
PickPorter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy and you let it.
The one and only Dolly Parton. We will honor her today with her music. Just an absolutely incredible singer, like you said,
Yeah.
songwriter, actress, humanitarian, business owner, entrepreneur. So many things I could say about Dolly
Yeah,
Parton.
and the movie 9 to 5 is great too,
It is.
but don't reenact it to your bosses out there. That's not very nice.
Just some advice.
Take care. Don't take care of your boss that way.
Before we
Unless
get,
they deserve.
Sure. Before we get to your take, what did y'all think about the Jaguars' rivalry uniforms that they'll unveil against the Colts at home?
Thought they were
Teal
cool.
helmets.
I thought it looked cool. I don't know. I don't.
It's
I don't really care, to be
I've seen
honest with you.
complete split.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
seen
it's cool.
absolutely in love with it. Can't wait. Wish they
Yeah.
could use these more, like the Prowlers. And then I've seen. Are you kidding me? Is this AI?
My favorite is the all white or the white with black.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't
Clean,
need anything
classic.
else.
I'm a little more
Clean.
basic too.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
don't
a
need
lot
anything.
happening.
Yeah.
It's cool. I think like the pieces and they put a lot of detail in it, which I like that part of it. I saw something that like the Jaguar print on the pants has like neighborhood spelled out, like it says like San Marco and blah blah blah. If you look, it's really hard to read it, but if you know it, it's like a cool little detail about the city. And there's few of those things, and that's what the rivalries. All of the rivalry jerseys do that. They kind of like they do special nods to their cities, and if you don't live in that city, you may not notice little things or understand certain things about it. So I think that's cool because there's obviously a lot of thought put into the little details of it. It just feels like a lot, and I am a little bit more basic when it comes to uniforms.
Yeah, but for a game, it's cool. You know, whatever. Mix
Just
it up.
win that game. That's
Yeah,
it.
win the
Just
game.
win that game.
And don't
Yeah.
call it anyone's bank.
Yeah.
Nobody on the team.
I don't think they'll do that.
Do that again.
But also, this
It's
is
Evers.
for now. Yeah. For now, this is the last
Exactly.
year of the Everbank sponsorship for the stadium. That's why it's
right.
called Stadium of the Future, because there's not an actual, I would say,
Right.
title
Yes.
sponsor,
Yes.
naming
Hopefully
sponsor.
it's still a bank.
Yeah.
I just feel like it works well because everyone says
Yeah.
like,
Lock
let's
it
go to the
down
bank,
at the
lock
bank.
down the bank.
Yeah.
Used to be all
Come on, Ever.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Municipal before that. That
Yeah.
one's a bit wordy. But yeah, I like them. I like the font on the jerseys. I like how I know people don't love the pants, I suppose, but I think they're cool.
You know, listen, remember the mustard?
Yes.
Oh, those are the worst.
Awful.
The mustard yellow.
The two-tone helmets
The
were
two-tone helmets were
terrible.
really bad.
Yeah, the mustard were terrible. The top and bottom, when they wore those together.
And
So
you also
awful.
hate uniforms. Like I know for Florida, when they wore the camouflage ones, Florida lost that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jaguars lost a lot in those mustard-colored
So your
uniforms
brain
on
just
Thursday
links
night.
it to that.
So that's
Yeah.
the two-tone helmets. The team was terrible that
Yeah.
era. If
Yeah.
they were really good, maybe we would feel differently.
It felt like the mustard ones always felt like Thursday night football
Correct.
against the Titans.
Titans, yeah.
Like
And
every year.
And Derrick Henry stiff arming.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
All right, Tom's take is now.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com. Or dial #law. That's all.
All right, my take on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon and a Morgan & Morgan Tuesday here on Helmets and Heels. I got to give a little bit of a shout out, and then one thing I noticed. Shout out goes to Devon Hamilton. He's had a heck of a camp. Had a heck of a year last year. It was pretty funny. I don't know if you saw where he was rushing Baker. And Baker's like backpedaling, trying to get away from him. He had no chance to get away from him. It's like this big polar bear coming at him, like, oh my God. And he threw the ball away, but it's pretty funny how he tried to get away, and there was no way he was going to get away. But D-Ham's had a heck of a camp, so I'm really happy about that because he's a huge component in stopping the run. What I noticed today, and they've done it before, but I like seeing it again, I'll call it a heavy 3-4, right?
Okay.
So across the line, they had 5. Right, but they had Travon and Josh standing up. The interior 3 were Armstead, Devon Hamilton, and then Dickerson, Matt Dickerson. And then they had the 2 backers behind him. And I'm just sitting there, that's a badass front right there. Like that to stop the run, if that's what it's for, or the red zone, what have you, that's going to do some damage. That's going to look really good. You have the personnel to do it. It starts up front. I also got to give Eric Armstead. He's had a great camp, too. I know he's had his veteran days, but whatever. When he's out there, that guy is getting after it. It looks like he's in great condition. It looks like he's focused, ready to go. So shout out to the defensive front. That's my takeaway today, because if they come to play even better than last year, we're going to be that close, much closer to a championship.
I liked this was more pass rush front, but I liked the Josh Hines Allen and BJ Green as your edges, and then Travon Walker and Eric Armstead inside.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, let's get that quarterback on the ground. Let's stop just pressuring and actually sacking.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I feel like that front can certainly do that.
Yeah, and I wonder if he makes the 53, which I don't know if he will, but number 57, he could be interesting. I watched him rush Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
His
Brian
rush is
with a Y.
Yeah.
the dip, the turn, the bend. It's so natural. You know what I
That'll
mean?
be hard for him, but
Yeah.
make it. I feel like you can. And that's what the one thing with this regime we've seen more and more is the versatility they like of players. And Travon's already been here, but that's been the conversation for years before this regime got here is like move Travon inside a little bit. Like, I don't understand why we hadn't been doing that. And I feel like previously they would we talked about too much hockey rotation shifts when it was Ryan Nielsen.
Right.
The movement and having those rotations is good, but I do think that you have to have some sort of guys that you can rely on. And if that's your, hey, against the run, this is what it looks like. And I liked that when you said Dickerson, Devon in the middle, and then
with Armstead.
Armstead. That one I think is terrifying to stop if that's what you want. And that's what I think that a lot of people, if you're looking at that, you have that. You don't have to shift that every single time. But when it comes to the pass rushers, mixing guys in there and finding different ways to pass rush, I think is what's been we talk about Seattle all the time because they just won the Super Bowl, but that's what they do and that's what works so well.
Who was the defense that played that against us last year? Remember, we had a hard time running. Was it Tennessee or Houston where they had the
Probably
5
Houston.
bigs? Remember, they had the extra defensive linemen, and the rhetoric after the game or at halftime was like, we haven't seen that before. We didn't. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that at all? It's a copycat league. So I when I saw it today, I don't know, maybe I didn't see it before, but I like what I saw. I think that front 7 could be really formidable.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We'll hear a comment from Travon Walker. He spoke with the reporters after the practice today, the joint practice today, and let's see what he thought about it. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
Hear the big moments and game-changing plays.
That is another pick six. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah safety net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah and Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Covered by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey, Tom McManus here. When it comes to vehicle service, trust matters. At Tom Bush Family of Dealerships, we're proud to service all makes and models with honest recommendations, skilled technicians, and work that's done right. Whether you drive a pickup, SUV, or sedan, we're here to help you keep running its best. Visit Tom Bush Family of Dealerships and see why so many drivers keep coming back.
Attention contractors, stop wasting time dealing with permits yourself. Use PermitRockstar.com. Their permitting platform helps contractors cut permitting delays by up to 80%. Stop waiting and start building with PermitRockstar.com.
Summer's winding down, and we know you want to enjoy what's left of it. But before you celebrate this Labor Day weekend, plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey, poker fans, catch all the action at Best Bet.
Exciting tournaments, thrilling promotions, and over $550,000 paid out this month.
Big weekend winnings, progressive jackpots at select table games, and daily high hand promotions at all Best Bet locations.
And don't miss the GoPo 400 with a $40,000 guarantee at Orange Park, plus the kickoff of the $100,000 guarantee stack at St. Augustine.
Get all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations happen year-round. That's why it's good to have Coen Flowers on hand to send that floral arrangement with a simple click, call, or showroom visit. This is JJ. Make Coen Flowers your go-to when you need to send your love.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Though the sun may be dawning, you're the one that lights the morning.
More Dolly Parton for you, honoring her life and legacy as she passed away earlier today at the age of 80. Like we said, she had some issues with kidney stones and had told fans that she was starting to get very tired. So rest in peace, Dolly Parton.
Absolutely. Iconic. And we seem to lose these, as the older we get.
Yeah, like I said, when I saw that last week or whenever it was 2 weeks ago, I remember thinking, I need to brace myself that this is coming, this is imminent potentially. And just obviously thoughts and prayers for her family and then all the different country music stars that have gotten to learn from her, gotten advice from her. And the list goes on and on. All right, Travon Walker, Jaguars defensive end / defensive tackle. Can I call him both? He met with reporters.
Lineman.
Exactly. Post the joint practice today. And he said things definitely get ramped up in these.
Oh, man, obviously it's always going to get ramped up going against another opponent, not coming out here practicing on your own teammates every day. You got to make it to the season. So when you're going against your teammates, it's you can still be physical in an aspect, but you don't have to be, once you're in a joint practice, you don't have to be as lenient on an opponent as you would your own teammate.
Yeah. Okay, we don't care if we hit them, but just don't hit Trevor too hard.
And you can maybe go a little more toe-to-toe with their offensive linemen, not your own offensive linemen. But look, I think Travon Walker has looked good in camp, but I can't say, like, Josh Hines-Allen has been very noticeable.
Yeah.
Eric Armstead has been noticeable. BJ Green has been noticeable. I haven't that often been like, wow, did you see Travon Walker on the field? There have been a few, but overall, I just haven't noticed him as much as I thought that I would based off of him being healthy and that conversation that Liam had with him. Like, I want you to just wreck practices.
Yeah. And I expect him to have a big year. Even if he hasn't had a big camp, he looks like he's in great shape. He looks like he's mentally ready to go.
What's a big year for you?
Back to his 10 sacks and just dominate on the run like he's been. I think,
But you want that double digit?
Yeah, I mean, he's done it, 2 years in a row, right? So
2 years in a row.
If he doesn't get hurt last year, maybe he does it again. Who knows? So I think he's very capable of being in that and hopefully a little bit more. But just overall being a great defensive lineman. Movie in, movie out. Beat up on guards, beat up on tackles, what have you. Stop the run, be an all-around guy. Look, Josh is just, I think he's I don't know, maybe he's more focused to do more this year. Wants to have even a better year than he did last year, and you could see it. I mean, I tell you, the strip sack on Baker, that was pretty cool. I'm surprised he knocked it out of his hands. I thought that was going to start something, but Baker was calm. He didn't do anything. But you're not supposed to touch the QB. They touched Trevor a couple times too. I saw from looking over there from time to time. But it's
light touches.
Yeah. I expect Travon to be one of our stud players. I mean, listen, if he doesn't get hurt last year, who knows what last year looks like? And he's one guy I would say, and there's more. I'm never worried about him not bringing it on Sunday.
Totally agree.
He's going to bring it, no matter what.
It's funny, Liam today, we've had the conversation about Liam when it comes, you can tell he is rooting for the offense at certain moments, which you're an offensive-minded guy, so I get that. But it was funny today because somebody asked him about some of Trevor's struggles against the Jags defense, and not talking about the Bucs defense today, but was like some of the...
I've got that.
Okay, perfect.
Well, I've got that cut. We are in sync. This is going to be Liam. So he was actually asked about Trevor just in his progress through camp, but he really turned it into Trevor going against his own defense.
We had a good meeting yesterday talking through... like when you go against your defense so much, that's why I love these joints is, they start to pattern match your stuff. They start to see your release patterns. They start to see your concepts so much that you can struggle a little bit going against your own defense very late in camp. It can frustrate you. It can cause you to get a little bit impatient and force things. My thing to him was just like, dude, don't worry about that right now. That's not really our focus. Our focus is the process of your decision making. Trust your reads. And if it's not there, man, let's start getting in the game mode and use your legs as a weapon, as we've all seen can be beneficial.
Yeah. Well, we saw that changes his game.
Big time.
When he does that. We've been asking Trevor to run for a while, and he did it last year. It's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's had a fine camp. He hasn't. There's been moments like red zone. Trevor's been really good. I mean, he's been on point.
And that's one of the hardest areas to be really
just because it's so confined. You got to fit it into the right spot. He's been really good at that. He's had some mistakes here and there in the open field.
Absolutely.
He's thrown a couple bad throws, a couple bad decisions. But he's also made some really good throws and good decisions. So, look, again, I it's great that
Yeah, we're not worried.
It's just
and
great that you don't have to
overanalyzing.
worry, like, because you did have to worry a little bit. What were you going to get? Were you going to get the consistent Trevor or the inconsistent Trevor? And we got the more consistent Trevor last year. So we just want that to continue, and we'd expect it to. So, I think he hasn't, like you mentioned, Travon hasn't, like, wowed yet. Trevor hasn't really wowed me at camp.
But you're not worried.
But I'm not
about
worried because he has made
yet.
some really good throws.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We're like, all right, that was a good throw.
And Baker Mayfield, we didn't walk away from today's practice going, wow,
No, not at
that's
all.
a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
No. What I came away from him is he can whip it just because that's it. You know, and I know he's a gritty, tough. I like Baker as a player.
Yeah, his legs are a big part of what he
Yeah,
does
he takes
too.
off
And you
too,
can
right?
and you actually hit people. That's how Baker is.
Yeah.
And Trevor kind of is like that too at times.
Totally.
You've seen games
Totally.
where he gets, that makes that contact with somebody in a run, and then next thing you know, Trevor's on fire. Baker's kind of the same way. So when you can't fully reenact that in a joint practice, you're probably not going to see either of these quarterbacks like how you would expect to in real game time.
And it's just hard for me to judge a quarterback's mobility when they're not counting sacks.
Yeah.
Like they get to scramble
No,
extra.
right. Yeah.
That's why, again, I've always said, like, put the flags on a quarterback so that we know for sure the play is dead.
Yep.
Take the flag. But obviously they're not going to do that because they don't want to start.
Well, and they want to, even though there's a sack, they still want to run the play.
Correct.
To see if
Yeah.
he can make the play.
Exactly. Off schedule. And what do the receivers do? And, the other
whatever.
pass catchers. I did want to mention Allen Robinson announced his retirement yesterday.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, obviously in 2015 he had a monster year, over 1,400 yards for the Jags. Granted, a lot of it was when the Jaguars were behind by multiple touchdowns. And Blake Bortles, even on our air now, has a commercial joking about
Yeah, the
how he's
garbage
really
time.
good in garbage
Still got to
time.
make the throws, Blake. Still got to make them.
Yeah. So look, I think we all thought at the time and back in 2015 that he was an ascending
Stud.
player for this team. Yeah,
He
and
got
then
hurt.
got hurt in that very first
Yeah.
game in 2017 and wasn't a part of that season, and then went on to play for multiple teams. in the NFL.
And I know the Jags were at a critical point. Like, do you let him just go because he's coming off the ACL? It's hard, man. It's hard. And then he was a free agent, right? So he was due a big deal. If he didn't get hurt, probably would have gotten a big deal either here or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
That's the thing.
that's the cruelty. Sorry,
It is.
that's
It
the
is.
cruelty of the game.
And
right
the Jags at that time, I remember, and it's still towards the bottom, but not as bad. But they used to be, you never hardly give anybody second contracts. It's just kind of what it was. They had the fewest in the NFL for like the 10 years previous. So
Because they drafted so poorly.
Yeah, or just didn't want to pay somebody. They were just like, oh, we'll draft again. We have another top 5 pick, so we'll just do it again. And so that was kind of the world they lived in on repeat in that. And then, he got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, it would have been interesting to see because he did go on to have multiple 1,000-yard seasons with the Bears after that.
Yeah.
And so if he would have stayed, did you get more of that? Were you talking about not just 3 years of Allen Robinson? Would you be talking about 8 years, 7, 8 years? And that'd be different. But he's one of the guys who has been on many teams and he's played different roles in each of those teams. But I mean, he has the second most receiving yards in a season of any receiver here and the most touchdowns of any receiver in a single season here. So that's something that you have to at least acknowledge, although it was in not the best era of time in that 2015 season.
No, I mean, look, he was a great player, and if he didn't get hurt, who knows? I felt after the injury, even with Chicago, he seemed more of a possession than a game breaker.
That contact, yeah.
But prior to that, I thought, before the injury, I thought he was a really good wide receiver. So
Yeah, that era is so tricky, right? Because like Jalen Ramsey should have gotten a second contract here, but he faked a back
There's
injury in
drama.
order to leave.
Yeah.
Yannick Ngakoue easily could have gotten a second contract.
They
but
offered him one.
They did,
Yeah.
but he wanted sky-high
He
numbers
did.
as an elite pass rusher, but he wasn't good enough against the run for them to warrant paying him as
they
much
were
as he
going to
wanted.
pay him it was like $18 million.
Right.
I mean, it was a great
It was a
contract.
good contract, but he got
wanted-
into the dispute publicly with Tony Khan.
That's also when people were saying don't come to Jacksonville.
Right.
So
That's right.
Telvin Smith
players
got
were
a
saying-
second contract and then
went off the rails a
did-
little.
certainly didn't live up to that. So that whole
That's
era,
what it was weird.
Yeah, now we're worrying about how are we going to pay Anton Harrison and Antonio Johnson and Brian Thomas
And
Jr.
Parker Washington.
Obviously
Yeah.
before that Parker Washington. So it's a much better spot to be in for the here and now.
No
You know
doubt.
what? On the other side, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to this Friday night's preseason game, and we'll have Taylor's Tangent, which means we also have lunch from Chick-fil-A to give away. Yes. So
S'mores.
keep it right here at 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Here we come. 1010XL. Here we go. Here's all you need to know. Jacksonville Sports Radio is 1010XL.
Hey, fellow Floridians, I'm Brenda Marie, pet parent to 7 precious pups and a huge fan of natural gas. Hush, hush, you guys. When it's bath time, we love our natural gas tankless water heater. We get endless hot water when we need it, use less energy, and save money, too. Oh, yes, we do.
Now, earn up to a $700 cashback rebate for installing a new energy-efficient natural gas water heater. To learn more, go to peoplesgas.com/rebates.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
Divorce, menonly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Have a ton of Friday morning Gator fun with Dan Hicken, Jeff Prosser, and Gator great Patrick Young.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY. And you know I love my Florida Gators.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Coen Flowers.
Hear that? That's not relaxing. That's a roof leak. At Endless Summer Roofing, we remove indoor water features from places they don't belong. Quality roofing, honest service, no duct tape solutions. EndlessSummerRoofing.com. Your ceiling will thank you.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Joe C. for Wingstop. Have you ever heard of a flavor rodeo? Now available at Wingstop. Carolina Gold, a bold blend of tangy mustard barbecue, apple cider vinegar, and savory spices for the right amount of southern sweet and tang. And Jamaican Jerk, a rich barbecue sauce infused with chilies, thyme, cinnamon, garlic, nutmeg, and sweet molasses. Finished with a savory jerk season for an extra layer of flavor. Carolina Gold and Jamaican Jerk. Now that's a flavor rodeo for a limited time only at Wingstop.
Neck pain, back pain, headache, Shinatri Chiropractic. Westside, 103rd, River City Marketplace, Riverside, Arlington, and the Beaches. Acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy. Relief starts today. Shinatri Chiropractic, 743-6700.
With today's car prices, you need financing that fits your budget. Move forward with a better auto loan from First Florida Credit Union. Whether you're buying or refinancing, you'll benefit from competitive low rates, flexible terms, and up to 90 days with no payments. Stop by a branch or apply online at firstflorida.org/car loan. Enriching people every day. Membership eligibility required. Interest accrues during loan payment deferral period. Federally insured by NCUA. Details at firstflorida.org/car loan.
When it comes to orthopedic care, experience matters, and teamwork matters even more. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, our fellowship-trained specialists work together to treat a full range of conditions, from knees and shoulders to spine, sports injuries, and joint replacement. You'll be guided by the right specialist for your needs, with coordinated care and personalized treatment plans designed for better outcomes. Smarter care, faster access, trusted expertise. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
Hi, Frank Frangie here, inviting you to join my wife and me June 22nd of 2027 as we experience the food, wine, and culture of iconic Italy with Colette. Our journey takes us to historic cities and enchanting medieval towns. We'll enjoy a wonderful 7-night stay in the Montecatini Term A famous resort and spa town nestled in the heart of the rolling hills of Tuscany. Visit the cultural treasures of Florence, Pisa, and lovely Lucca. Along the way, we'll discover the food, wine, and old world charm, and even have a special chef-led cooking class. This and so much more. Colette handles the details, flights, hotels, meals, and the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss joining my wife and me in Italy. Now to learn more, visit 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
Come away with me.
That's 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
I'm Olivia Brooks with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. The Jags hosted a joint practice with the Bucs this morning and starters got some reps. Joint practice continues tomorrow before the final preseason game at Everbank Stadium Friday at 7:30 against Tampa Bay. Stay with 1010XL, flagship station of the Jags, for complete live coverage and updates every day. The Jumbo Shrimp start their 6-game homestand tonight at 7 o'clock. It's 95 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Don't try to cry your way out of this. Don't try to lie, or I'll catch you in it. Don't try to make me feel sorry.
Great job, RJ. Playing DJ with all the Dolly Parton hits today. And if you're sad about the loss of Dolly Parton, well, hopefully we can make you happy by giving away a pair of tickets to go see the Jaguars play host to the Bucs on Friday night at Everbank Stadium, kicking off at 7:30. And of course, the Jaguars are home this season, not playing in Orlando until 2027. So if you want to go, be caller number 2 at 641-1010, and you will win the 2 tickets, 641-1010 to Taylor's Tangent. We go.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So we have some positive news out of the college football world. One conference right now is trying to make some things at least a little right. We'll see how it all ends up panning out for if the others jump into it or not. But the Big Ten athletic directors unanimously approved a rule forbidding NFL players from returning to college and suiting up for a Big Ten school, according to reports that were released this morning. The report added that the measure would apply to anyone who declared for the NFL draft and didn't withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with the professional team, which would extend the rule scope beyond just the NFL. So they're definitely trying to lean into this and be like, we do not like this. I feel like once you're, and we've talked about it on this show, how we agree in the sense of once you're a professional player, then you're a professional and you shouldn't be a college athlete anymore. And
You
that's
made
kind
the
of what
choice
it is. Yeah,
to be a
you've
professional player. No one
decided that.
forced you to do that. By the way, the SEC presidents came out and put out a joint statement basically saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they did that.
Trying.
They put out the report yesterday, and then this morning the Big Ten made an actual did the.
They agree
the
on
rule,
something.
Finally,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it is interesting, and so there even seems like they're going beyond because we've mentioned the situations where more like they get drafted but go back, so they haven't played with the team or anything, but they get drafted or go through the whole draft process and then go back. It looks like the Big Ten is even trying to start that. If you don't withdraw from the NFL draft, they don't even want you coming back to college football. So they're putting their foot down even more extreme. So we'll see how all this pans out. We'll see if all the conferences do this or if other schools still try and open their arms. And if that's the case, it'll get even messier. But hopefully it seems like they're all can get on board, at least with this one thing.
Yeah, and it looks like, I like where they said it's either appeared on an NFL roster or signed a contract with a pro league. So that could be more than just the NFL. So they're
like a
covering
CFL
they're covering their bases. Yeah, good. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. You know, it's just if you want to take that risk and go into the draft and you get drafted, you make the team, you make a bunch of money, that's fantastic, right? But if you declare and all of a sudden your draft status goes down and you don't withdraw and you still go through with it and nobody drafts you and then you get too bad.
There are
You rolled the
consequences
dice.
for your decisions.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. There's ramifications. Like it's not free enterprise. Like, oh, just come on. Yeah, we'll go back and forth. We'll figure it out. No, I'm glad the higher ups are putting their foot down on this one.
One person on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures 904-641-1010 was like, it's not a bad thing if someone wants to go back to college, get their degree just because they may not make an NFL team. And it's like, wait a minute. First of all, most of these guys have been in college for at least 4 years, if not way more than that.
Anyway.
Yeah, they could have gotten their degrees already in theory, or
go get a degree, but you don't get to play football. Like, I could go back to school right now if I wanted to and get a degree. Nobody's stopping me from doing that.
Yeah, no, I think the conferences are trying. The problem is the government, like we said yesterday, the government has all this power that the NCAA doesn't have. And so as long as judges keep ruling in favor of the players, once the conference says no, then I feel like then the conference is going to also be sued. And then the judge, again, gets to decide. And so I just wish the judges would make the better ruling. That's at the end of the day.
Does the NFL care, you think?
No,
I don't know.
The NFL doesn't
do they
care.
really care? Because you mentioned yesterday they should do something, right? That's
what Taylor said.
Or you were saying that, yeah.
And I was saying they'll be sued
I agree
too.
with it. Like, they should be like, you can't come back. Like, you come here, you can't go back. Sorry, you didn't make it.
And to me, because the law keeps finding all of these loopholes in the rules, so it needs to be something very specific. It looks like that's what the Big Ten is trying to do, of saying like any professional league, you cannot come back, doesn't matter what. Because the problem is nobody thought they were going to do it. Nobody thought you'd go sign an NFL contract and go back and play college football. So that wasn't specifically said. And so that's part of just the world we live in, that you keep having to add laws and add rules because people try and find loopholes around things that they don't want to do or do want to do. And so that's part of it. So hopefully it gets to the point where the NCAA lawyers just write it strict enough to where it's just there's no way you can argue it, because this is the contract. And now you are signing contracts in college when it comes to making money and NIL and all of these things. It's interesting, like the whole dynamic. I was thinking about it today because Jack Pyburn obviously is on the Bucs and he was out there today. I was watching him a little bit warm up in the beginning, and I was talking to Hayes and I'm like, how does all of this even work? And Hayes even was like, I'm not even totally sure. It's kind of crazy right now because he's in the portal. So if a coach calls right now that's how does any of that work? Like, I'm just confused of the sense of that.
But he's not in school, so how does he even go in the portal?
I don't know. That's why I'm confused, because they didn't say, like, he's out there today practicing, but he's in the portal for college football. And so if a team calls, then he can just go play. But then by the way, college football starts this weekend technically. And so I don't know. It's just all messy. I don't see how that would work. Or you're waiting like to the NFL team side of it. Like if a school does call, if Alabama calls and is like, hey, we will give you $1 million to come here, and then you're like, peace out, Bucs, like, thanks for your time, but I'm gonna go over here. Like, I just don't think either side would love it. Not saying Jack Pyburn's gonna be like some game changer with Tampa Bay. I don't know if he's gonna make the roster, honestly, and so it's mainly those guys. But the whole dynamic of it all, I just don't even know how it totally works.
It's just saying you can go back and forth, which is ridiculous. You know, even just to hear that. I know he's a local kid, so I don't want to bag on him too bad, but like to be in the portal and be out there practicing for an NFL team, that just seems bizarre. And how much more? So it's $250 if you make the practice squad, right? I mean, what are they paying Jack Pyburn in college? Are they paying him $1 million to come to school?
We'll never know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if he makes the team, it's $885.
Yeah.
So now you're closer to that. Like, you making more than that?
And you're working towards your career. You can't be in college forever.
And it's not a one-year deal.
Yeah.
You know, when you sign your contract, you get a 4-year deal.
4 years.
Yeah. And
some people think that, he's worth like $1 million, which seems high to me. But I feel like we went through this already.
Money, like,
we went through this with Charles Bediako.
Yeah.
He signed with an NBA team in the G League contract, right? You can't play college sports anymore.
Right.
And yet he was allowed to, and so that opened the floodgates. We never had to deal with any of this years ago. And so you're trying to protect when Jack Pyburn destroys an offensive lineman that's never had an NFL practice.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're trying to protect, is college students versus professional athletes. And I understand college students get paid, but they're still not truly professional athletes. But that's how we feel about it. All right, let's give some lunch away.
Let's do it. Free lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 2, you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A. I've seen a lot of people posting pictures of that chicken and waffles, and every single post talks about how it's the most delicious thing they've ever had in the entire world. So make sure you get one of those. They also have the s'mores milkshake right now. And if you're like me, I'm a coffee all day, morning, afternoon, night type of person, and they do have the new cold brewed flavors. So check out any of those and then get your chicken sandwich, chicken nuggets, whatever you normally get at Chick-fil-A. But give us a call right now and you get some free lunch.
You just made everybody starving and thirsty all at the same time. All right,
including myself.
Exactly.
Drive safe.
That's right. We've heard some thunder out there. All right, Lauren's Lane awaits. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
I don't want to offend anybody, but I thought you'd all be a little bit more heroic.
Not heroes, just sports lovers. 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by
Morgan & Morgan.
25 weeks comes down to this. You ready? 3 wide under the lights. 0 margin for error. Everything on the line. Flirting with 200 miles per hour in the place where this journey began. Race 26, the final hunt for a spot in the chase. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona, August 28th through 29th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Storm season is here, and at JEA, we're on it. We work year-round to strengthen our electric, water, and sewer systems, making them more storm-resistant. Trees are trimmed around power lines to help reduce outages caused by falling debris. Plus, our online outage map and the My JEA app make it easier than ever to report and monitor outages. So no matter what this storm season brings, we're ready to respond, restore, and keep you informed every step of the way. Learn more and see how you can prepare at JEA.com.
This is Frank Frangie. Planning a summer road trip? Before you load up the family and hit the highway, make sure your tires are ready for the miles ahead. Big Chief Tire now offers special online-only tire pricing, giving you access to the best tire deals when you shop through their website. It's an easy way to save money and drive with confidence this summer. Shop online and schedule installation at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. Your next road trip starts with the right tires.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer team, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance painting.
Yo, what's happening, football fans? It's your main man, E to the T. And it's almost time to draft your team and kick off another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks, where cold drinks made from scratch food and wall-to-wall TVs make your lodge the ultimate draft day headquarters. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for some picks, the rivalries, and the full season bragging rights. Whether you're defending a title or drafting for the first time, start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge today.
Frank Frangie here, and I got to tell you how proud I am of my daughter Amber and how much I appreciate the folks at Awaken 180. My daughter's lost close to 200 pounds. Now look, most people don't have 200 pounds to lose, and Amber wasn't really proud of that, but she worked so hard. She lost 12 pounds in her first 2 weeks, and that quick start matters. It says this is working, keep going. And it isn't only Amber. Matt Hayes and Greg and Hacker, folks around here, I know them. I watch them get fast early results too. Different goals, different amounts, same feeling. The scale moves, the doubt gets quieter, and you want to see what happens next. So why wait? Build momentum now. Before football season, fall schedules, and the holidays pile up. The next few months will get louder, not quieter. So whether your finish line is 25 pounds or 200, choose the program that has shown it can go the distance. Type Awaken 180 into your phone, click the call, and ask your questions. Then get the results everyone else has. You'll be awfully glad you did. Call today or sign up. Awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know.
I wonder how many people don't know that Dolly Parton wrote and
Probably
performed I Will Always Love You long before Whitney Houston.
Yeah, probably a lot. I bet.
In The Bodyguard, the movie that song became most
Yeah.
famous from, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that's why most people connect it to Whitney Houston. But yeah, Dolly Parton is the original for I Will Always Love You.
Yeah. She wrote for a lot. She actually read where she said she liked writing for men artists.
Male artist, okay.
Male or
Yeah.
male
No,
artists.
yeah. Same difference.
The corrector. Male, men. I like that
The
you
men.
make me pronunciate the correct way on the show.
I
do
honestly
appreciate
don't
it.
even think about it half the time. It's just a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
You corrected me yesterday, and I was
Uh.
happy for it. Or earlier today, actually, in this show. I was happy for it because I said the joint practice today last week against the Saints, and you were like,
Oh,
the
right.
Panthers.
The
See?
Panthers, right.
We all help each other.
We
out.
all are correctable.
We're here to make each other our best.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
All for one and one for all.
That's right.
Let's go.
The text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures 904-641-1010 is very active when it comes to this college football to the NFL subject and go back and forth and all that stuff. And yes, once next year arrives, we won't have to have these conversations because this is all regarding that class of 2022, 2023. Yeah.
Yep.
So
unless you leave early, sorry to cut you off.
No, yeah.
Unless you leave early and for whatever
and you
reason
still
it
have
doesn't work.
eligibility and that kind of stuff. Yeah. To me, if you decide to leave school, you still have eligibility remaining, but you sign a professional contract, you're not allowed back. Or if you don't get drafted, so you're not necessarily signing anything right away, although even undrafted free agents pretty much sign at least something right away.
Yeah.
And then you participate in off-season workouts. In my opinion, you're now a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You can, like you said, Taylor, you can go back to school.
Well,
you just can't play that sport.
I mean, look, you sign a contract even as a free agent, right? A rookie free agent.
Exactly.
So
That's what
once
I'm
you
saying,
sign it, forget it.
You're
It's
done.
over, yeah.
You make the choice. No one's making the choice for you is how at least I feel about it. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
So y'all know how I've been hyping up this Florida versus Nebraska volleyball match, right?
Yeah.
First one in an NFL stadium at AT&T Stadium. So I did a little more research today. Come to find out, it's an exhibition.
Oh, no.
There are two other teams.
It's a big exhibition.
It is. Penn State and SMU are also involved, and it's not a round robin, but Florida will play Nebraska on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And then once that match ends, then Penn State will play SMU. The winner of each will then play at like 10 o'clock on Thursday night. The winner does take home $1 million.
Oh.
So that part is cool, but I don't love that it's exhibition. Why can't you have it a regular season game, a tournament basically that matters?
Yeah. Yeah, especially in a place like that. We were talking about the amount of people.
80,000 people potentially.
Yeah, that could fit in there and watch that. I mean, I guess you get money out of it. You got to pay your players.
Yeah.
So we got to find
That's why
money.
there has to be money involved, but come on, man.
It's like the Jamboree for high school, I guess, you know?
But that's not held in an NFL stadium.
Well, I know.
And you're billing it like spikes under the lights is what it's being called. So to me, make
That's
it
a big
make
thing.
it a big
Make it
thing.
real.
Yeah, that's
Make it
true.
count.
Because it doesn't count towards their record at all. It's just you
That
get
is
money.
correct.
Right. It's one of those week zero things.
Yeah. Well,
no, week
because
zero
week zero
counts.
does count
Oh,
for a
week zero
record.
does
Week
count.
zero
That's
counts.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's
For
not
college,
exhibitions.
yes.
Yes, for college for
Mhm.
sure. One other note when it comes to the Gators, men's basketball for Florida will play Baylor here in Jacksonville in an exhibition game. You know, I just love exhibition games, so I'm pumped. Sunday, October 18th, they will play at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. The tip time and TV info will not be announced yet, but will come out forthcoming in the near future. Tickets will go on sale September 16th. Shouldn't it be free? To see an exhibition men's basketball game?
Did you say Baylor?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida
Is DJ
Baylor.
Lagway coming back?
DJ Lagway does not
Going
play.
to show you at halftime how he
Baylor
gets out of a
men's
straight jacket.
basketball.
Just pull it right off.
Right. That would be very,
Wouldn't that be
very
impressive?
cool halftime show.
That would. Maybe they could
Just
make
as good
that
as
happen.
Red Panda. Do you know who Red Panda
No,
is?
no.
She's the one that, while on a tricycle, basically, or a unicycle, whatever, she's balancing things.
And we're
and-
balancing plates.
Yeah,
it's
balancing-
very
it's
high.
very
and
impressive.
plates,
Right.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
She's very popular in the halftime.
Is she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
basketball halftime
Yes.
world.
Okay, I got to pay attention to the halftime world of college hoops now.
Well, I used to that was part of my job when I worked at UNF is I would have to book the halftime entertainment if we had extra
okay.
funding left over for that. So I looked into Red Panda.
A little expensive.
A little
Wow.
too much for the budget that I had.
Well, they can use the $1 million from volleyball to get Red Panda.
That is true, except UNF is not a part of that. All right, just got this note from JU. Former JU pitcher Mason Adams is set to make his major league debut as the Rockies starting pitcher against the Nationals.
Cool.
Okay.
First pitch is scheduled for 6:45 there in Washington, D.C. He will become the 15th former Dolphin to play in the bigs. That's the most among current A-Sun programs. So I thought that was
That's
impressive.
awesome.
cool.
I
Yeah,
love
so
that.
Yeah.
good luck, Mr. Mason
Yeah,
Adams. Hopefully you get the win. And again, it's for the Rockies, but they're playing at the Nats.
Mhm.
I don't think you'd want your first ever
On the
game
road.
to be, to be on the road is okay, in my opinion.
At
sort
home,
of.
though, the balls go
But
out
the
a lot.
at the Rocky
But-
Stadium, I wouldn't want my first game to be there and not accidentally, but giving up home runs because of the altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah, I've heard
good.
Murph talk about that, of how the ball just travels there. And he was
Yeah.
like, it was honestly kind of crazy at times.
Yeah, it's fun if you're
just
a hitter.
how easily it sails,
Yeah.
as a batter.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, I remember Elam, the kicker. He was the one that hit 65 way back when at Denver.
Okay,
and
yeah.
it would carry further in Denver. That's part
Did
of
you
the deal.
see all that hullabaloo about Harrison Butker kicking a 69-yard field goal in the
I did see that.
The hullabaloo.
Hullabucker.
Harrison Butker.
Oh, I was like, that's the goalie that.
They were acting like it was a big deal, but that's not even the record. Cam Little set the record last year.
Right.
Yeah.
What, he doing a preseason game?
Yes,
Yeah.
last weekend.
Okay.
And I was confused too of why they were making it seem like it was it was also a preseason game and 69, and I was like,
Yeah, Cam's was 70.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just more disrespect to our team, damn it.
Also, towards
Make sure Liam
nobody
knows
cares about
this.
Harrison Butker. He's a
Make sure Liam. By the way, did Liam flash his abs to the crowd today, or no?
I did not see any abs
come
flash
on,
to the crowd
Coach.
today. When he did that, that was Sunday morning.
Yeah.
There were no fans there Sunday morning.
Oh,
so
he
that
just
was
did it
he's
to
not
the
letting
media.
the fans see
just
yet.
to media. Yeah.
Yeah,
By the way,
our got to work up to that.
Exactly. Our guy Mason Adams
Big reveal.
had Tommy John surgery on April 2nd of 2025.
Who did?
Mason Adams,
Oh,
who's
okay.
making his
Okay. Oh my
debut
gosh.
tonight.
Wow.
So very
Good luck.
impressive.
That's so
Long
exciting.
road.
I love our local guys out there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that as well. All right. Speaking of the Jacksonville Jaguars, on the Rich Eisen show yesterday, Marcus Spears was on there, and Rich Eisen asked him, "What is one NFL team we're not talking about enough?"
I think Trevor Lawrence last year took a step forward. He started playing with a little bit of his confidence raised. I was on a podcast with Dominique Foxworth last season, and it was getting close to the playoff run. And I just felt like Trevor and what he kind of unloaded, like maybe a lot of baggage or a lot of stuff that he felt like he had to carry, and just kind of start playing football and not worrying about the outcome. And you could see it for me visibly. I could see him kind of shed this I'm not what I'm supposed to be, and I've been drafted so high, and we know I've been drafted one, and the expectation. But here's the thing, for this is a young football team with a lot of really good skill position players. Up front, they play well. Defensively, I didn't think they got a lot of credit for what they did down the stretch. They got to make some improvements on the back end. But up front, this team was phenomenal. I think there's a kind of a undergirdle of what they can be. I don't think anybody will be shocked if they're good, but I think they got a chance to be super good and explosive.
The undergirdle.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
when I heard that
interesting
word yesterday, I was
phrasing.
like, that's an interesting word. Maybe he meant undergarment, but who knows? By the way, from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010, a unicycle and a tricycle are very different things.
Yeah.
Yes,
They are.
Yeah.
I meant
3
unicycle.
wheels, 1 wheel.
Yeah, I meant unicycle. I
right.
was like, tricycle? No, it is a unicycle.
I knew what you were saying.
It's also
Yeah.
been a long
Yeah.
time since I've seen Red Panda, but for instance, Tom, here's a picture of her at the games, and one person said Red Panda is on NBA 2K. So RJ, you probably knew that.
Okay.
You didn't know
no,
that?
he's not.
It says when you
into
play a
it.
normal NBA game at halftime, it cuts to her. That's funny.
And you can't
She's
skip it.
kidding.
You don't want to skip it.
Are we a
Watch
young
Red
team
Panda.
again? I mean,
Yeah,
every
getting back to Marcus
damn
Spears.
year where I hear it every year. We're so young. We're so young. It's almost like a built-in young thing. You know, I'm not always.
Yeah,
big
I don't
fan.
know how young they are anymore.
I think we got a
think
good
so.
mix. We're a little young,
Yeah,
but we
there's
got a
some
good
youngness,
mix, I think.
but I mean,
Yeah.
most of the people we're talking about, like the
The defense ain't
majority
young.
of the starters have been here since Trent Baalke. So you're talking about, most have been here 3 or 4 years, and then you've mixed in a Travis Hunter
Right,
and
Travis
a
is young,
Pregnon
right.
and a Tutins in year 2,
Yeah,
and
okay.
Jags are 12th youngest age-wise in the NFL, but that's also going off of
your whole roster.
Yeah, exactly. That's 90.
I don't like when they
Go
do
off of
like
91 people.
Right, not
Yeah,
the
you can't-
53.
yeah,
We'd have to wait and
or
see.
even like
after
to
that.
me the top like 22 30 that you're really going to be seeing out there, because they say that all the time. Like Green Bay's been one of the youngest teams too for a while, and they always put that on there. But then if you look at like their bulk starters, it's not them, it's just their depth is
Their
so
depth
young.
is young, yeah.
So it alters that age, that median age so
Right.
much.
I
But
feel like
there's
really
youngness, but
yeah, there's youth, but you have to focus on the quarterback. How many years does the quarterback have? And then maybe your left tackle and your pass rushers, like the most elite positions on the field. Because look, there are some positions, maybe like a tight end, that it takes a little while for those guys to really produce in the NFL. But I mean, we've seen here, like you can have a rookie running back perform. You can have a rookie wide receiver have, a successful season. So to me, you look at more, like I said, quarterback. Our quarterback's entering year 6. Pass rushers have been around for a while. Left tackle has been in the league. He's going into his 4th year, Anton Harrison. So I
Eric
don't.
Armstead and then Devon, all those guys are.
I wouldn't say the
defense.
Jags are young.
Except Travis. Travis Hunter's young.
Yeah.
We'll give him that.
Hunter's young.
Yeah.
Bashal's in year 2.
Yeah.
BTJ's in, heading into year 3.
Yeah.
So there's youngness, but it's not like this team where you're counting on all of these young wide receivers and defensive players to make huge plays. You have a good amount of veteran guys, and you added
Leadership,
some.
yeah.
You brought in a Jordan Lewis and a Jacoby Myers because you wanted to add to Chris Rodriguez, some of that more veteran guys that have been in the league a little bit longer.
Yeah. From a text line, this person said Trevor is still really young. I don't think he's still really young.
No, he's not really young at all.
Yeah.
He's midway through.
Once you sign a second contract in the NFL world, you're no longer young.
Yeah.
And then, Tom, someone sent in a picture that you took with their son and said, thanks for taking a picture with my son at the game last week. And you rock. Go
very
Jags.
nice. Cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was very cute.
Funny note, real quick about Sean McVay was asked about players in NFL camps going back to college, and McVay said, "I feel like I just took a freaking gummy."
That's funny.
That's one way to say it.
That's great.
It does feel like sometimes we are going round and around in circles
Oh.
when it comes to these conversations. All right, keep it right here for the golden moment next. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Powered by Duval Hustle.
And what does it unlock?
Not exactly sure. 1010XL.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service.
Instant Keys comes to you.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is Northeast Florida's truck headquarters. And this month, save more than $15,000 on a new Silverado at Nimnik Chevrolet. 0% financing for 60 months is also available. And no payments for 90 days. With the largest selection of new Chevrolets in the region and the Nimnik Best Price Guarantee, why would you buy anywhere else? Visit NimnikChevy.com or head to the dealership. Great inventory, great prices, and low interest rates. Who really takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Chick-fil-A has just changed up their cold coffee lineup. If you're someone who needs that morning coffee fix, or like me, the afternoon coffee fix or the night coffee fix, Chick-fil-A has some great new options. Their iced coffee now comes in vanilla, caramel, and mocha. They've added a new creamy cold brew that's made with a sweetened cream instead of milk for a little extra sweetness and indulgence. Also available in all 3 flavor options. So next time you're grabbing your chicken biscuit or chicken minis for breakfast, try the new cold coffee options at Chick-fil-A.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Call State Farm agent David Padilla in Jacksonville, 904-398-0401.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is a diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, There's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment for today. We got joint practices with the Bucs, and they came out firing right away. It was really fun. We saw the deep shot to Brian Thomas Jr. A little bit of a slight injury scare for a second, but it seemed like it was okay. He was down for a minute holding that shoulder. But from what Liam Coen says, it seems like he should be fine. But I just liked seeing that because I feel like we've heard so much about the slow starts. We've seen some of the slow starts, and so to be able to just come out and like shots firing, especially with all the storylines that are between these two organizations right now, and it is a good team, so it's fun to watch them today come out and watch Josh Hines-Allen do what he was doing in the backfield and to Baker. And I think those things are fun. It gets you a little bit more excited, especially for us. We get one more joint practice tomorrow, and that's all we get until get to see with our eyes until that first game of the season against the Browns. And so that's definitely a game you don't want to lose. We've talked about that one, but it's fun to kind of see today things coming together. The run game, the run defense we already knew was a thing, but the pass rush and some of those young wide receivers, the tight ends, we saw Borkature and Strange today. And so all those things kind of coming together against another team was fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, look, our defense came to play today. I mean, right from the bat, they were fired up. They were winning in the one-on-ones, pass rushes against their old line, and every team drill, they seem to dominate that offensive line. Again, it's different when Tristan Wirfs is in there a little bit. But overall, all the other positions, we were crushing them. It was very impressive today. Very
good news, not
day.
many teams have a Tristan Wirfs either.
True,
Yeah,
absolutely. And he was in and out. I think they were giving his backup a lot of reps just to get him out there. But nonetheless, it was a great
good
day.
part about joint practices.
Yeah.
Is that they can't touch your quarterback. So even with Wirfs, the left tackle off to the side, you don't have to worry about that protection.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I think it's so tricky in joint practices because they don't stop the play when it comes to sacks. So you might see especially if you're trying to watch both fields, like a lot of us do, you might see a deep ball completed, whether it's for your team or against your team, and it's like, oh, that was really nice, but was it a sack? Right? Like they don't, because again, they don't blow the whistle and things like that. So I think both quarterbacks would have been sacked at times, but it was nice to see for me. Brenton Strange had a really nice catch, like completely turned his body around. I didn't think he was going to be able to catch that. And then, like you mentioned, Brian Thomas Jr., pretty good. Seems like he'll be okay. Jacoby Myers, I would imagine we don't see either of them until the game against the Cleveland Browns.
Parker looked good, and we were just talking about a Parker injury not long ago, so that's fun to see.
It sounds like Liam wasn't even sure if Nick Mullins will play Friday night, that it's going to be much more of Joey Aguilar, Carter Bradley, and things like that.
I think with 2 practices, for sure, you should get enough good work.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good day, I don't know if that changes things. You probably shouldn't because you don't want to risk the injury. I do think Joey Aguilar deserves to start. I don't know if he's getting it, but he should get it. Nothing against Carter Bradley. I just think Aguilar has really turned it on lately.
He was 9 of 10 the other night. And what was funny was in the
I would
post
like to see Mullins get more time practicing, honestly.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
In the post-game press conference after the Jaguars lost to the Panthers, Liam, as he's walking off the podium, was like, I didn't even realize Joey Aguilar was 9 of 10.
Yeah,
And he's like, he had great protection when asked about it on Sunday. But look, I think it doesn't really matter to me who QB3 is. It matters way more who QB2 is, and that is Nick Mullins. So if you want to have the conversation and the long debate of who should be the third quarterback, that is, I guess, the emergency quarterback, because I don't think the third quarterback makes the 53-man roster. So if you want to have that conversation and debate it all you want, that's fine. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Nick Mullins will be your QB2.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, once the coach says he trusts him, I mean that's what it is.
Yeah,
so
all the people just might not love that.
They might not. Yeah.
I think when it's funny too, so you can tell the world just like on the weekends when you're out and about watching football and talking about the Jags right now. Obviously, people ask a lot of questions, and I get that, but it's funny the people you can tell like just do not watch much college football because the amount of people on Friday that were like, I don't even know who this Joey Aguilar guy is. I was like, I feel like that was a pretty hot topic for a little while, but we just live in that world. world. We're so like engulfed in that world all the time of all of the stuff that happens in it. So it's funny. But a lot of people like him a lot because of what they've seen in that. Granted, it's like the later in game. So what does it look like if you are? But that's why, to your point, Tommy, I think I would like to see him, with you're not getting the ones, but maybe some of the second, third, and not so deep of the guys that aren't even going to be on the roster and see how he does, and maybe playing against a little bit better competition earlier in games, because what you've seen late has been really good and really comfortable. And I feel like a lot of people would like to see more of that, but we'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, and if they're not going to play Friday night, then you hope they go hard tomorrow with full pads. If they can't take,
I know that's what you hope.
I know, but think about it. Like if you went pads today, which is great. Yeah. Uppers tomorrow, and then you're not playing until September 14th.
You have your own
It's
team.
a long time to not play at all. I don't know that, but that's why I would imagine if you get a good day in tomorrow, then you're like, all right, I don't got to play him Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me ask you this: based off today, say they didn't have a practice yesterday or tomorrow, would you play him this Friday? Based off today's performance, would you play any of the starters come Friday?
I'm not, just because I'm not playing them in any of the preseason games.
You don't want to get hurt.
Yeah,
okay.
To me, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just think they do it wrong in the first place. I think you play them in the first preseason game.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to me to play it closer to the season. If there's any sort of injury, or like, to me, you'd want the most time possible between when you play them and when that first game happens to get everybody healthy and rehab. So I think a lot of teams do it opposite of how I would anyway. So no, I probably wouldn't play them this weekend, because you don't have much time. If something does happen, you've got a couple weeks to figure things out. And I like seeing players. I like to see starters a little bit at some point. I was seeing a tweet earlier of the starting quarterbacks that hadn't played. The list isn't super long of some of the starters in the league that have played zero. It's like Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff and Tyler Shuck, and Trevor is obviously in that. But it's not, the list isn't crazy long. I think it was like 8 or 9 quarterbacks that haven't played at all. I would have liked it, but if you do it, I want it in that first preseason game.
Yeah, and even before these joints became popular, like the starters didn't play in the last preseason game anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a way to look at it. Good that they have the practices.
Yeah, they used to get about a half in the second game.
That middle game.
Yeah, they played quite a bit. Yeah, absolutely. So last week would have been the game to play the starters.
Yeah.
If you were going to play them.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be Liam Cohen's philosophy moving forward, or if it's just because he started to see that offensive line group and the linebacker group
hurt.
Have all those dings getting nicked up. Like, if that's the philosophy, because he seems like he likes it physical, and he likes the practices to be very physical.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he wants to just bubble wrap his guys. But maybe there is something to the controlled settings that you get in those joint practices that you definitely don't get in the preseason games, because guys are trying to make the roster, and so they're going to go 100%.
I will say our D felt like they were in regular season form trying to punch the ball out today. Like, it seemed like that was a cognizant type effort.
Yeah, Ventrell Miller is going to knock the ball out of somebody's hands.
He's good at it.
Yeah.
He's good at it. But that was good to see.
Hopefully.
Because remember, the takeaways weren't coming this camp. They were almost like, where are they? But felt like today they were quite a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm sure that Coach Camp is reinforcing that, right? Like,
He's
one
funny.
of our
I watch him a lot. He's always
angry.
He's mad. Yeah. He's like throwing the F-bomb. I love it. I love that he's got that energy.
Old school defensive coach.
Big time. Gruff. A little gruff.
Exactly. All right. One segment to go here on Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Hey, fellow Floridians, it's Ben.
And Brianna Smith. We are foodies who love sharing recipes online.
And trying new cooking techniques on our new natural gas stove.
He loves his precise temperature control on the heat.
Yeah, I also love saving money and using less energy.
Oh, watch that flame.
So, we'll love to be in control.
Now earn up to a $300 cashback rebate for installing a new energy-efficient natural gas range or stovetop. To learn more, go to peoplesgas.com/rebates.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Lauren Brooks here. Game days are back in Duval, and Closets by Design is ready to make your home a championship space. That's right, Closets by Design does a lot more than custom closets. They can transform your living room to wow your friends when they come over to watch the hometown team. Schedule your free in-home consultation or a personal tour of their amazing showroom on Phillips Highway by calling 904-878-9393. You can get 40% off, plus an extra 15% off with free installation, and 18-month financing is available by calling 904-878-9393 or online closetsbydesign.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Tuesday, backed by Morgan & Morgan.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family's secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do, stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom, who got rear-ended last year. Tom McMahon is here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial Pound Law or check out forthepeople.com.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on. You do something to me that I can't explain.
Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream. Phenomenal duet. And I hope you all have enjoyed all the Dolly Parton music today.
I love Kenny Rogers music.
Oh, absolutely.
He's always good.
Yeah. I'm going to miss Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
80 great years.
Yeah. Left her mark, That's what we do on this earth, right? Try to leave the best mark,
Absolutely.
That we can, that people can say, that was a good person, that person did a lot, or that person was something special. So she did it all, it feels like, especially in the music world and everything else. So God rest her soul.
Yeah, leave the world better than you found it. That is by far the goal.
Yeah, try to anyway.
Some injuries around the league. certainly earlier we saw Jamar Chase go down. There was some video of him kind of like crawling off to the side. Apparently the update there is it was a little hyperextension of his knee. Said he could have kept going if needed. He joined a radio show up there in Cincinnati. So you typically don't see someone do media if it's a significant injury after practice. So my guess is Jamar Chase will be all right. For the Bears, the right tackle Darnell Wright came out of red zone drills after a couple plays, and then trainers took the brace off on his right elbow. He stayed on the sideline for a bit. He's now headed back into the building. We were talking off the air, Taylor. You said he's struggled with different
he had
injuries
a
on his right arm.
UCL injury last year, so he's played with a brace since that. So hopefully it's fine. But
Yeah,
'cause
and
he
then
just got paid.
that's exactly right. right. Yeah, Calvin Austin, the wide receiver for the Giants, one of the wide receivers for the Giants, he went down with what one source described as a serious knee injury. I saw another report that he was carted off and that all of the Giants players were surrounding him.
That's never the
That's
thing you
not
want
a
to
good
hear
sign,
about.
yeah.
No, that's not a good sign at all. And so, yeah, if for some reason the Jaguars aren't in full pads tomorrow, maybe it's because some of the guys today had a little soreness. And I know that's not how it used to be. It used to be 2 padded practices a day and things like that. But if we don't see them in full pads tomorrow, I would just imagine it's because coaches are keeping an eye on what's going on around the league.
Listen, even if they're in uppers or shells, it's going to be physical. It'll still be physical. So they'll have to deal with that. And I mean, if I'm Tampa, I definitely want to go again.
Yeah.
You know, especially on offense. I'd like to redeem myself a little bit. But, you know, you got to figure out what's, worth the risk.
So I wonder how that conversation goes between head coaches. Like, I want pads, I don't want pads. Let's meet in the middle.
I don't know. Like last week with Carolina, like, I'm playing Bryce.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? Not, oh, wait, okay, maybe I'll play my guys. There wasn't any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you would think they would collaborate.
But at joint, we can't have like them with pads and us with no pads.
No.
I guess the way they settle it is Trevor Lawrence and Alex Anzalone just get out there on the field together.
What is
the
it?
hair, the hair
Hair on hair work.
Hair on hair crime.
Yeah. Yeah. In case you missed it earlier at training camp practice, there was a little bit of a scuffle, and one player was going after Walker Little. And then the next thing I saw was Trevor Lawrence, literally his arms wrapped around a player and kind of like spin him around. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's Alex Anzalone, the former Gator that Trevor literally just
Walker was
moved.
He was sticking up for his guys today again. He was in the thick of it.
Yeah, that's the fun part about joint practices is, yes, you get to see all of that red zone work, and that part is really fun, but also there is a little extra attitude at
I was jealous. I mean, the defense there were no skirmishes, not even one. All it takes a big hit. Godwin over the middle, light him up.
Maybe we flip sides tomorrow.
Maybe you stand in the middle and watch both.
Yeah.
That way, if there's one on either side, you're able to see
But then
it.
watch the other side get all the I'll be like, man, there was 5 fights.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be creeping over there. Tommy, watch the offense. No, I'm not. I'm watching the skirmishes.
It is funny
More
how,
fun.
certainly for organizations that are trying to keep track of things, right? Like a Times Union, like certain certain people will watch only the offense, the Jags offense, and the other people will watch the Jags defense. So they don't even get to see both. And it is hard to see both at the same time, both fields. But that's to me the most fun of it.
To see both.
To literally be able to watch Trevor, then watch Baker, then watch Trevor, then watch Baker, and watch the.
If it works out, I mean, it sometimes
it is difficult.
Does. It sometimes does. Like they'll go quicker than the other side, and you can catch both real quick. I just found when they were going off the same, I leaned towards the D, just because I really want to see us against their offense,
Right?
Even though it's not full, but just get a good idea. Look, we know. I think our offense is going to score points. I think they're going to be good. I think that O-line's going to come together. I think Trevor's going to be good. I want this defense to be championship, though. They've got to be a championship defense. They've got to be a suffocating, putting games away, stepping on their necks, like my dad used to tell me, like step on their necks when they're down. Don't let them up. That kind of defense. And I think we're getting there. I think you feel like feel like they're coming into their own. They got some swag. They have some attitude. They're being physical. You can tell they like being this physical style of a unit.
Jarian had the one PBU in the end zone.
He did
too. I was like, man,
Absolutely.
he's so fun. He's one of the for me, one of my favorite players watching out there from just day to day. He's always making plays on the ball. He always has 100% energy, no matter what.
He's
no
always
matter
talking.
he's always running his mouth a little bit, which I love that.
Hey, Eric Murray's done had a good camp. You know, Eric Murray stepped up, and he's had other safety. Him and Antonio are going to be. Antonio's had a great camp.
Yeah.
I mean, Antonio's ready to go, man.
Yeah,
And Husky, you've seen a lot of good moments
Husky's
from
done some
Husky
stuff.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which not Ransaw. Like I feel like we haven't talked about Ransaw as much as the other safeties. Moments, but not. I feel like I see personally, and I'm not. Obviously, you don't get to see every play. Like even today when I was looking over, it was Husky making plays constantly, and I wasn't seeing that from Caleb Ransaw on a consistent
for
basis.
me, when Heath named him a gunner, that means he's not starting.
Yeah.
Your starting safety is not going to be your gunner.
And the fact that you watch the defense today means you got to see a lot of Travis Hunter for sure.
Yeah, he was all D.
All
D. And
was today.
he had his hands full. He was fine, but that Ted Hurst Jr. is going to be a heck of a ball player. But that guy can be a very smooth route runner, great hands.
Mm-hmm.
He was right there, like I said earlier. It wasn't like he was getting burnt or anything. He was right there in coverage, but it was good outing.
Good test for him.
Good test for him. Yeah, like I heard Coach Duff say, like he needs to get beat a little bit. It's going to happen. These things happen. I mean, I think we think of Travis Hunter like this superhuman, and he is in a lot of ways. But the shutdown corner, there's not many shutdown corners today. Like totally shut down. You know what I mean? But he's hopefully as close as we can get.
Let's say hello to the Frangie Show's shutdown corner.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes Carline joins us now. Hayes, you got to do your interview inside today.
Yes, that was very nice. So they got the practice in, and then it was getting a little dark, so we moved inside to do all the availabilities, which was great. So had a chance to catch up with Antonio Johnson.
Great day today.
Yeah, great day today. He's had a really strong camp.
Yes.
So, boy, what a fantastic chess piece for the day. It's going to be fun to see week in and week out how they employ Antonio with that skill set. So, it was fun catching up with him. Lee Smith is going to join us at 4:30, the executive director of the Players Championship, because, boy, this was a newsy day on the PGA Tour. Obviously, it's the Tour Championship week, so that's exciting. But they unveiled their new plan for the Tour Championship starting in the 2028 campaign. And, a lot of things. So Lee will give us his thoughts on all of that. So lots of golf and football coming up on the Frangie Show.
Beautiful.
Sounds good. Yeah, I saw the statement from Brian Rolap, and so I feel like he's done a great job already.
Yeah.
Being able to kind of navigate the tricky waters that has been PGA Tour versus Live, and now it feels like just PGA Tour.
Yeah, and they talked about that as well, that he's not going to have that plan that Koepka took advantage of, that's not on the table.
Right.
For the guys that are out there now. So I'm excited. They should have to earn their way back. Like, if you're one of the best players in the world anyway,
Right. Then you'll
why
be able
is
to.
it so
Yeah.
hard?
Yeah.
Just go earn it. I mean, so anyway, I'll save that rant for 7 minutes.
All right,
Thank
sounds
you, guys.
good. Thanks, Hayes. And be listening. Antonio Johnson has every single practice. You notice number 6. And like Hayes said, they can move him around too, which is fun.
Oh, he's got it all.
Yes, indeed. That'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.